Good morning. It is July 6th, 19. Now, I'll be okay. Yeah, shows you how messed up I really am today. It's July 6th, 2025. It happens to be my birthday. I am 74 years young or old, depending on how you look at it. And I do practice what I preach. I promised I was going to always get up and out, and I have done it as promised because I'm doing this now. I have been under the weather for about the past 8 to 10 days, but like I've told you in the past, I try not to let anything hold me back from things I really feel I must do, and I can't make any money in bed in any way, shape, or form. So I didn't stay in bed. As I said before, I don't believe in staying in bed. Find a reason to get out of it. This is my first reason for today, getting out of it. As I said, I've been a little under the weather, so I haven't been doing anything really constructive the past 8 to 10 days. Unfortunately, I've been out and about doing what I had to do, the absolute necessity of shopping, getting my car serviced and whatnot, but have done very little as far as videos, as you can tell. Not that you're broken up about it, but still, I do want to let you know where I'm at, period, on that subject. People ask me, what's the purpose of these videos? And it's a really good question, I think. The purpose is to show you that somebody, a contemporary of yours, is going through a lot of the same problems that you probably are. I am alone, as are most other people that have contacted me. I don't know what percentage of people are alone as a population at our age, but some people have contacted me and said, I can relate because it's pretty much my life as well. And I say to them, well, welcome to the club. You have my email address. Please feel free. And they have. And thank you for that. Also, what I'm trying to do here is not lecture anybody. And if it comes up that I am, I don't mean it. It's not my intent. I'm only offering you advice based on my experience and my observations. I'm trying to have the same conversation with you that we would have if I ran across you coming out of a supermarket and you recognize me as a friend or somebody you know. I want to talk to you on a level that you want to be spoken to. I'm trying not to talk down to anybody, and I'm trying not to talk up to anybody. This is just, it's not an apology or anything else. It's just what's my intent, and that's it. If you're coming out of the supermarket and you said, hey, Stan, how you doing? I want to talk to you. I haven't spoken to you in a while. This is what the conversation would be like. I speak badly, as you can tell. Some of it's age, some of it's some neurological issues I'm having. Some is honestly just nervousness at having to do this and doing it. So that's my purpose on that. The next thing I would like to talk to, and we're just going to touch on it briefly today because I'm not prepared to go into any depth, is smartphones and computers and things of that nature, tablets. I'm going to give you the super basics. There are basically two formats of almost anything you can touch. If it's made by Apple, it's iOS as a tablet or a phone. If it's made by anybody but Apple, it's Android or something else. Apple owns the hardware and the software aspect of every device they make that they have their name on. So the physical device that you're holding in your hand is the physical device, is the hardware. What you're looking at is the software. This is an iPhone. You've all seen these. You may or may not like them, but even the Androids today look a lot like iPhones. That's part of their appeal. What's the difference? Android is an operating system on hardware created by and owned by Google. So whether it says Samsung or Nokia or Pixel is completely Google. That's hardware and software. Any other name, Motorola, and some of the others, it's owned by Google. If it's anything to do with Apple, it's iOS. If it's anything to do with Google, it's Android. Now, there are also alternative phones today called little flip phones that you can buy for like 30 or 40 bucks, like the old flip phones we had. But they will have some minimal apps on them, some connectivity so you can still do text, so you can still do phone calls, and a couple of apps that they include. It's usually on a different operating system called Kai, K-A-I, that you've probably never heard of and you shouldn't have. The problem I have with all of these phones is that they become addictive. And as they become addictive, people rely on them more and more. And if you're relying on a device more and more that you don't understand fully, I think you're heading up a creek that you don't want to be heading up of. Starts with an S, by the way. My advice to you is know what you're dealing with. Very often I run across people that have no concept at all of how the device really works. It was given to them by somebody else or recommended to them by somebody like a grandchild or something, and their needs are not the same needs as ours. We're way generationally different from each other. Most of the kids today grew up with these devices. We didn't. We became used to them as society dictated them to us. My concern is that you can be suspect to scams like the grandparent scam. You've seen that one on YouTube, very, very famous, where you get a call from somebody, allegedly your granddaughter or something like that, and they need money in a rush, and there may be a video of them even doing it. It's all done by AI and fakery. If you get an email from a company you don't recognize, don't open it. If you get a text from somebody you don't know, don't open it. That could lead to them getting into your devices and maybe overtaking those devices or siphoning money out of accounts that you may have that you don't have securely locked on those devices. Also, if you wonder where all some of this stuff comes from, if you're on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, those are known security hazards that people are willing to live with. I don't understand why you're willing to live with it. I go on Facebook once in a blue moon because I'll look at Facebook Marketplace. On my own Facebook post, there's been, I think, one post in my entire life, the day I lost one of my dogs. I have no intention of ever posting on there again. I'll go to Marketplace to look for stuff and maybe I'll run an ad there, but that's as far as my Facebook encounters go. What interests me and intrigues me about Facebook and stuff like that, tell me if this hasn't happened to you. A friend of yours is going into a restaurant, great, and he's having dinner or lunch, whatever, at that restaurant, and they're telling you, look at this great dish that I ordered. Chicken something, steak something, whatever the case may be. Why do I need to see what you're about to eat? Is my life so devoid of meaning of its own that I have to look at the food that you're about to eat? When I see that, I laugh and I say, geez, we're going in the wrong direction as a society. I understand that people want to keep track of their grandchildren or their children and this and that, old friends and stuff like that. Do yourself a favor. Be really personal about it. Make a phone call. Now, you may not see them. Now, if you want to do something a little more secure than Facebook and you really want to see them, one of the virtual video apps like FaceTime with Apple, and I know Android has Google Meet and some of the other stuff, it's a little more secure. I worry about that these devices are taking over our lives unknown to us because we don't really understand them. I want to make you understand it a little bit better, but like I say, today is not the day. Believe me, today is not the day. But the one thing you can do is realize in the course of a week, how often do I reach my phone for no reason? For absolutely no reason. You're looking for an email, you're looking for a text, but it didn't come. But you've just wasted 30 seconds of your life, a minute of your life. You end up scrolling. You're doing this with your phone. Well, this, well, there's more to life, especially as you age. You don't know how much time you have left. Why do you want to waste it doing that? Walk in the park. Rescue a dog. My biggest thing, rescue a dog. Spend good time with a great companion in a dog. But no sales pitch on that today. But I'm just saying, don't waste your life doing this stuff. I'd almost rather see you sit in a park by yourself and watching what's going on, maybe smile at some people, maybe they'll come over to you, hey, how are you today? Isn't it a lovely day? Maybe you start a conversation as opposed to scrolling for an email or text that's going to just possibly be something that has no real value to you. In closing, I know you've been waiting for this. This has been terrible. but I admit it, and like I say, I'm never going to have great videos. I'm just going to tell you what I know. Anyway, in closing, I hope that you find that there is a purpose in life other than technology. We did without it for so many years. Computers have been ruining our technologies in our lives since 1998, or thereabouts, depending on your individual acquisition of it. I've been dealing with computers since 1996, especially with Apple, who is one of my least favorite companies at this point in my life, who used to be one of my favorite companies. I've been dealing with Apple since 1996, and I've actually won a couple of arguments with them. But why do I want to argue with a technology company? Why do I want to let technology replace reality? Yeah, the reality sucks in a lot of cases, but there's a new person down the road that's dying to meet you, maybe. Why don't you go find that new person? Or why don't you sit in the park and watch the miraculous days that can occur with good weather and good visibility, and see some birds and see some creatures. Try to enjoy the reality of life as opposed to what virtual life and AI is trying to hand you. Again, this has not been my best. I'm hoping it will be my worst, but I've enjoyed it, and I hope you're having a great day. I'll see you again in a couple of days, hopefully a little more organized. Take care. Thanks for watching. By the way, I have to say, please like, even if you don't, thumbs up, subscribe, and if you have comments, there's an email address. Please, by all means, send me an email. I'll look at it. I'll probably respond to you. And if I don't respond to you in email, maybe I'll address it in my next video. Thanks for bearing with me today. This was brutal, I know, but I tried. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.